I think by now you've realized that no one is coming to give you permission to be who it is that you always knew you could be. And the truth about starting over is that there is no blueprint for it. Everyone's path is individual, everyone's path is unique, but we are walking this cosmic path together. And the beauty about starting over is that everything that you've built in the past that was built on fear, that was built on the idea of not being worthy enough, all of that crumbles away. And I would literally be sitting here not being truthful with you if I was to say that that process of things falling away, that almost like a detoxifying, whatever the word is for that, but that process of releasing all of the things that was not like your highest self, that was not like your true self, that process is extremely uncomfortable for the ego because it is built on that. It is sustained on this idea of you being separate from the creator or being separate from everyone around you and just being separate from the life force around you. I was up last night and I got this like download or channel about something that came through my heart, and it was something that I really believe that the Most High wanted me to be aware of, because a lot of the times we run on these operating systems that when they're not fully examined, they continue to control our lives. I think it was Carl Jung who said that until we make the unconscious conscious, it will direct our life and we will call it fate. And I feel like that part is so true for people who have decided to start over in life, people who have decided to examine what's true for them, because it's easy to just continue to go on this path that is carved out for us. It's easy to continue to go down a path that feels like it should be the right thing to do, right? We have all these expectations that are projected onto us. We have all these ideas about who we should be, and it's very rare that we allow ourselves to be who we are. And to be honest, I spent years running from who I am, but we'll get more into that towards the end of the video, because I really want to just talk about that process of what happens when you start over. You're forced to face the shadow aspect of yourself, which is really the unconscious parts of who we are. And I will always reference the video about the importance of shadow work, because I feel like so many of us are push in a direction where we're trying to start something new for ourselves. We're trying to basically create a life for ourselves that feels more in harmony with who we are. But if we're not willing to face the unconscious parts of who we are, then we'll never know what's truly there, what's truly inside of us. And to be honest, you are the only one who knows what's inside of you. You are the only person who knows the vision for your life that was given to you by the Creator. But oftentimes that vision that we have for our life is smothered underneath layers and layers of trauma, guilt, or being forced to believe that if we don't follow the status quo, then everything that we've built will fall apart and we won't make it in this world. But to be honest, if you look at how much effort you put into trying to go down the right path, trying to follow these ideas of what you believe you were being taught to be, I think it becomes obvious that that just doesn't work. It doesn't work for everybody. Not everyone is meant to follow the status quo. I'm not saying that the best chance we have at succeeding is being rebellious in life, but what I am saying is that there is an aspect of us that we must face before we leave this earth. So just bringing it back to my first point, like, it is very, very difficult to start over. It's difficult to choose a path that may not make sense to the people around you, especially the people who are closest to you. But we have a choice. And I always believe that we were given free will to choose what path we will go down. And I'm still exploring this concept, but I truly believe that every path leads back to God. Like, every path leads you back to the heart of yourself. It's just, are you willing to take a path that has a lot of rocks? Are you willing to take a path that feels a little bit more aligned? Like, it doesn't matter what path you take, eventually you will find your way back to source. And I say this all the time, but I do have a lot of respect for people who have decided to start over, because it's not easy, especially during a time where it seems like there's so much collective chaos. But if we do not address the chaos that is happening internally, then there is no way we'll be able to address this external chaos, because we've tried that for so many years. We've tried for so long to change systems or to make certain groups of people feel like they're less than, or they need to change to fit our beliefs, but none of that works. It doesn't work because we've tried it for decades, for years, and it just doesn't work because we're not addressing the true issue. The true issue is that on an individual level, so many people feel disconnected from themselves. So many people feel like they don't have ownership of their life, and we've created these systems that make people retreat to a place of powerlessness. And I've mentioned this previously, but when you are in those states of fear, when you are in those states of feeling broke or broken, when you are in those states of feeling like you have no autonomy over your life, then it is easier for you to be controlled. It is easier for you to fall into systems and traps that just want to take from you. They take more than they're willing to give, more than they were ever willing to give, to be honest. So yeah, starting over does feel scary, but what's scarier is actually living a life that is so misaligned from the truest essence of who you are. There's a verse that I love that says that your gifts will make room for you. And I truly believe that this is in alignment with universal intelligence, because when I recently went down to go visit my sister, she has this dream, really this passion for photography, and she's so good at it, but she's so new as well. And I also needed some pictures because I'm stepping into a new phase of my life, and I want to do this whole kind of rebrand, because I feel like everything that I've built previously, it was a part of me, but it was not a part of me that necessarily felt whole. It was from a part of me that was still chasing, still running. And it was funny because when we came together, like what she had, I needed, and what I had, she needed. She needed a model. She needed someone to go with her to these different locations so that she could practice. And it just turned out to be this really beautiful experience of both of us really expressing our gifts from a place of love and excitement. And it was just really beautiful to see. And as I sat back and observed that scripture is what came to mind, because truly, if we're all going down the same path, or if we're all being told to be one way, then it doesn't make room for the people who don't feel a certain way about the same system, right? Like, we need artists, we need people who see life at a different level. When we bring all of that creativity together, it creates this beautiful symphony of just honestly walking in the most abundant and the most aligned state of humanity. And I know that idea sounds so big right now, but it isn't a job for one person. This is a collective effort for us to find our way back home, our way back to the truth of who we are. So as you're going through this process of letting everything fall away that it's not of you, surrender to that process, because the longer we resist it, the longer we stay in a state of clinging to what's no longer ours, what's no longer resonant with who we are, then the longer this process takes of really allowing the true essence of you to surface. Because after all of that falls away, after all of that weight falls away, then we begin to rise. And I feel like human beings are full of infinite potential, and so there are infinite ways that we can truly walk through this world, but we have to start somewhere, and you're starting here. So it's okay to have grace with yourself. It's okay to not fully know what's going to happen next, because I really believe, like, and I don't know why I didn't figure this out earlier, but literally you cannot plan your way through life. And as someone who used to have a 5-10 year plan for my life, I can honestly say that even though the desires of what I wanted, like going to school and traveling, all those things manifested, it didn't manifest in the way I thought it would. So I don't think there's anything wrong with having a vision for your life. In fact, I encourage it. Have a vision for the person you want to become, and less attached to what you want to manifest, because the things, the people, the places, all of that changes, but who you are, at the end of the day, that's all you have. You spend the most time with you. Doesn't matter if you're in a relationship or not, or if you have a family or not. Your voice, your inner voice, is all you ever hear. So I do want to go back to my journal and read this before I end this video, because it's very related to the last statement that I just said, and it's a very vulnerable piece, because like I said, I didn't know that this was inside, but I feel really led to share this, and hopefully it resonates, and hopefully it helps you wherever you are on your journey feel like you're not alone. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and read it. There is an African proverb that states, "When there is no enemy within, the enemies outside can do us no harm." This whole time, my greatest enemy has been closer to me than I ever imagined. It went undetected for so many years because its voice sounded like my own. When I felt broken, it told me I deserved to be that way. When I felt alone, it told me that no one could ever love me. When I felt abandoned, it told me that I would die alone. It was there, within my own thoughts, like a virus. It played smart, hoping that I would never slow down enough to see the truth of who I am. It survived because through years and generations of trauma, guilt, neglect, I had become the perfect host. Its deception kept my head spinning and my legs running, never feeling worthy enough of living free in my own mind and body. The seeker in me wants to scream, why? Why did you spend so many years lying to me, sucking away my life force? But my heart already knows the answer. Like everything in this world, it was just trying to survive. So I sat with that for a while last night and definitely cried, definitely released, but it's just like, when you're in those moments of starting over, when you're in those moments of facing the shadow aspect of who you are, the unconscious parts of who you are, there is a lot of things that are going to come to the surface, but it's meant to. If we didn't have signals, if we didn't have things telling us that something internally is not right, then we would walk through this world living in complete disalignment. And I truly believe that the source of creation wanted everything to survive, wanted everything to prosper, because when I'm sitting here like looking at trees and just sitting with their wisdom and sitting with the abundance of nature, you really realize that everything was meant to survive. Everything was created to be successful. But I think that human beings have a very unique gift of this ability to choose whether or not we are going to allow ourselves to blossom, to succeed. And with spring coming around, it just feels like this is the time. If not now, then when? If not you, then who? So again, I hope this video was helpful. I feel more comfortable recording. I feel myself basically coming back online. The more, again, I let these things fall away, the more I become conscious of these programs that were running my life for so many years. And it's amazing how creation works to sustain itself. It's amazing how something that we went through, something that we share about our personal story, could help someone else on their journey. So no matter where you are, just know that you are enough and you are worthy of being loved, and you are worthy of the love that you so freely give other people. Pull your life force back, pull your energy back, give to you. It's not selfish, it's being smart, because you can't pour from an empty cup. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.